Hello students, today we are talking about IARichard's a famous new critic. New criticism is a theory which tells that rather than worrying about the background of the author, we have to evaluate the text. This new criticism analyzes the text not on the basis of author's background but its content. This theory appeared in 1929, and before this, to understand a text, a person looked into the historical background, history of the text, and about the author. But new criticism evaluate what is written in the poem and novel, and these people, these critics, absolutely abandoned the historical or personal background of every writer. Instead, they gave importance for close reading. This new criticism emerged in America, who focused on text and not about author's background. IARichard is the first person who used the word practical criticism. He made an experiment with his students in Cambridge. He gave them a text to evaluate without giving them the author's background. Without revealing about the name and the personal backgrounds of the author, he gave a text to his students to evaluate. And all his experiences were mentioned in the work Practical Criticism. And IARichard here was astonished and shocked by the results of students' opinion, that all of them gave neutral or objective opinions about that poem. Here, objective opinion means neutral, free from any bias opinions, free from any preconceived notions, that is objective opinions. All his students gave correct evaluation about that poem. So from that experiment, he realized that without revealing the author's opinion, we can evaluate a work properly. IARichard was the first one who gave the idea of new criticism, but the word new criticism was coined by another one. His name is J.E. Spingam. This Spingam first used the word new criticism when he was delivering a lecture. In the midst of the talk, he first used this word new criticism. Instead of this, IARichard gave the word practical criticism. This method of new criticism mainly focused on close reading, that is rhythm, meter, theme, imagery, and metaphor. They gave importance for all these things instead of that author's personal background. They made close, very thorough checking and evaluation of each and every lines written in a textbook. This new criticism was greatly influenced the writers like Mathew, Arnold, and T.S.Eliot. Mathew Arnold believed that a person should be objective when he writes a text or novel. There should not be the influence of the personal views like romantic writers. Mathew Arnold was a severe critic of romanticism, in which the personal viewpoints and personality of the poets like Shelley, Wordsworth, Coleridge, all were expressed in those romantic poems. And according to this Mathew Arnold, the personal views or the person should not be expressed in the poems. And another one is T.S.Eliot, who was a great admirer of this new criticism. According to him, the author should be objective. He should not be there in the text. So these poets were great admirers of new criticism. And two important concepts in this new criticism are autotelic text. That is, every text is self-contained and independent of author, his genre and his historical context, and that work's historical context and that author's historical and background should not be there in every text. It should be self-contained. This is what the meaning of autotelic text. Autotelic means self-contained. You have to rely on only the text. So a text is a unified identity, and it is complete in itself, and it contains meaning in itself without referring cultural, historical and authorial background. This is the meaning of autotelic text. That is, a text is a unified entity, and it has its own entity, and it contains meaning in itself without referring cultural, conditioning, historical and authorial backgrounds. According to no critics, any text you are judging is an autotelic text. It contains meaning in itself. You don't have to go anywhere to find the meaning, because all the meanings are there in that text itself. The second important concept is close reading. Deep analysis of a literary text is the meaning of close reading. When we closely read a text, we are focusing on the formal and linguistic aspects. So all these are important concepts of new criticism. And next we have to analyze about the important works and concepts of IARichard. Most important works of IARichard are Meaning of Meaning, Principles of Literary Criticism, Practical Criticism, a Study of Literary Judgment, Philosophy of Rhetoric. Philosophy of Rhetoric, written the year 1936. Practical Criticism, written in 1929. Principles of Literary Criticism in 1924. And Meaning of Meaning were written by both IARichard and C.K. Ogden in the year 1923. So, most important concept of IARichard is total meaning. That is, the total meaning means when we read a book, we get 4 kinds of meaning, and the total meaning is a blend of all this. The total meaning is a blend of 4 types of meaning, and in the work in Practical Criticism, IARichard is mentioning all this. Whatever we are getting the meaning from a text is a mixing up of four meanings, that is sense, feeling, tone and intention. Whether we are reading something or listening to something, it will generate four kinds of meaning. The blend of these are these are so these four things are sense, feeling, tone and intention. The first one is sense. What the speaker tried to convey to his listener is called sense. What the author trying to say to his listener is called sense. Feeling is the most important one, that is attitude towards what the author convey is called feeling. This means that when we are trying to say something, we express this through our language. For example, if I am very much orthodox, I will express this in a very strict, rigid manner. So for this purpose, I may use my language in a strict way. This is called feeling. Our attitude towards something is expressed through language, and this attitude showing is called feeling. If we are biased about something, we may express this through our language. Author's attitude is expressed through language, and this expression is called his feelings. Next one is tone. Tone is the speaker has an attitude towards the listener also. That is, the attitude of the author towards his listener is called tone. For example, the way we talk to our parents about something is different from the way we talk to our friends. So this this way of talking, the difference in this way of talking is called tone. This is tone, that is the attitude towards listener. Next one is intention. Intention is the purpose of the speaker or the author is called intention. It may be conscious or unconscious. For example, if a priest or a priest may talk only about religious things. It's his intention, because he want to speak only religious. He want to speak only about religion. So his priest speak for a purpose, that is spreading religion. So this is religious intention. Next is a teacher. A teacher talks to his students only with a strict manners. Most of the teachers are like that. So it's for the goodness, for the betterment of that student only. So this is that teacher's intention. His purpose is expressed through his language, that is intention. So when we read a text, we get the meaning out of these four things, that is tone, sense, feeling and intention. When we read a text, we get the total meaning from all these all this mixing up of all four things. In a text there are two different types of intentions. Like when we are talking about when we are reading a scientific report, sense is dominating in that. Sense is what the author trying to say is called sense, and in all the maths and science related reports only sense is dominating. The verification of facts and figures are dominating in such things. But if we read a political document, something like that, only the intention is dominating in that. Intentions of politics or intentions of politicians are dominating in most of the newspapers. So this is the difference. So from text to text, these four things may differ. Next is two uses of language, that is scientific and emotive. So in scientific language, facts and figures are dominating. It's based on science and facts. So such language is called scientific language. But in emotive only, in poetry we are using emotive languages, that is emotive use of language is used in poetry and other literary languages. In such emotive languages, these are producing emotions and certain attitudes to whom it is addressed. So in most of the scientific documents we are using scientific language which is filled with facts and figures. But in emotive language we are this emotive is used in poems and literary genre which produces emotions. This is the difference in language. Thank you.